the theme so perfectly, I decided to read from the galley. It's called Lost Cat, a true story of love, desperation, and GPS technology. And it's illustrated by my partner, Wendy McNaughton. And see, all you need to know is that at the beginning of the book, I've been in a terrible accident. I've been released from the hospital, and I'm recuperating on my sofa, and I'm spiraling into a terribly deep depression. And my girlfriend, Wendy, is taking care of me heroically, but we've only known each other 6 months. So I'm steeling myself for her to simply walk away. And the only thing that is keeping me sane are my 2 cats, who are named Tibia and Fibula, which happens to be the two of the bones that I broke and I'm recovering from with strange synchronicity. They're nicknamed Tibby and Fibby. And about a month into my recuperation, Tibby disappeared. When your cat goes missing, you panic. You imagine catnappers, vivisectionists. You have visions of the hole he is trapped in and the wounds that are keeping him from crawling home. You cry. Because I was so helpless, friends rallied quickly. They flyered the neighborhood and knocked on doors. Into every mailbox went the plaintive entreaty, "Lost cat, please call. Owner's heart is broken." Tibby's large, wet, extraterrestrial eyes stared from telephone poles and lampposts and trees. 10 days passed. Nothing. Desperate, I consulted a psychic. This psychic did not look like the way I thought a psychic would. She did not wear large rings or squint into a crystal ball. She sported a stylish haircut and yoga clothes and checked email, which is where I sent her the details of Tibby's disappearance. She responded that she would need a little time to tune in, and so I waited, and soon enough, she emailed again. "Tibby's okay," she wrote. "Not hurt, and he'll be home by 5 a.m. on Thursday." This all came through very clearly, she said, and I was not to worry too much about him. In addition, he was being lovingly cared for by nearby children. Children, I thought. He's petrified of children. But I took a deep breath and I waited. I admired a psychic who predicted exact dates and times. She seemed so certain. But Thursday came and went. No Tibby. He did not return on the weekend or the next Monday. Wendy walked the neighborhood again. She showed photos of Tibby to everyone she saw. People shook their heads with sympathy but said they hadn't seen him. And so our next step was to visit the San Francisco Animal Shelter. I went to the pound every 3 days, and every 3 days it was the same. A volunteer would appear with a sympathetic smile and a bouncy voice. "I lost my kitty," I would whimper. "He's large, shy, with wet extraterrestrial eyes. He disappeared 15 days, 21 days, 33 days ago." "Oh, cats," the perky volunteers would respond knowingly. They would tell me hopeful stories. Everyone had hopeful stories. There were cats who had been gone for days, weeks, months before returning home. There were cats who had been found 3,000 miles away, 2 years later. I listened with the fervor of the newly evangelized. Clearly the volunteers had some magic that I had lost or never had, an emotional sturdiness behind their bright smiles. How else could they stand all this kitty misery? "You get used to it," one said. "It's not so bad," said another. They wore orange smocks and blue paper shoes on their feet. They cleaned cages and spoke into walkie-talkies and held sticks with feathers at the end so the cats could play. I began to love them for their small, patient smiles, their blue-papered feet, their soft hearts with tough outer crusts. And so I listened raptly to their tales of kitty intrepidness, Then I went home and cried. And slowly I knew a cat like Tibby couldn't survive in the urban jungle. He was too shy, too skittish, with no street smarts and zero capacity to kick ass. I had to face it. If he hadn't come home, there could be only one reason. Something terrible had happened. Then, 5 weeks after he disappeared, Tibby returned. He waltzed into the bedroom late one night. He greeted us with his Pavarotti meow. We sat bolt upright, awakened from sleep. He crawled under a chair. "Tibby," I said. "Tibby," Wendy said. Tibby just stared, unsurprised. "Meow," said Tibby. I spent the next few days cuddling Tibby and feeling, well, a little indignant. Where had he gone? And why had he left? And what was wrong with him now? He was approaching his food bowl with indifference, exhaling a kitty sigh, and then walking away. "He's not eating," I wailed to Wendy. "He's sick from being away from home for so long." But when I took him to the vet, he was declared a half-pound heavier. "He had a silky coat," said the vet, "and a youthful spring in his step." "That's great," I responded. When the relief that my cat was safe began to fade, and the joy of his prone, snoring form, sprawled like an athlete after a celebratory night of boozing, started to wear a little thin, I was left with darker emotions. Confusion, jealousy, betrayal. I thought I'd known my cat of 13 years, but that cat had been anxious and shy. This cat was a swashbuckling adventurer back from the high seas. What siren call could have lured him away? Was he still going to this gilded place, with its overflowing food bowls and endless treats? Where do our pets go, and what do they do when we're not around? And why? Aren't we enough for our furry companions? For animal lovers, these are the ultimate questions. And so began a quest, familiar to anyone who has realized that the man in their life is not who he seems. The quest to find out where Tibby had been for those 5 weeks. So began Operation Chasing Tibby.